Hi, I'm Kyle Kaufman, and this is the Humboldt Report. It's not easy being the president of a university. You have to sit through a lot of meetings, and you have to try and please a lot of different people. But then again, you get a really sweet parking space, just like this. Exactly like this. The Humboldt Report's Tristan Pulido sat down with HSU President Rollin Richmond and asked him what he likes and dislikes about the job.
Do you guys want to come in my office?
Yes, sir.
Okay, come on.
What is it that made Rollin Richmond decide to become president of Humboldt State University? Is it the power to make important decisions?
I do find it oftentimes frustrating that people think that I have a lot more authority and power than I do have.
Or is it about the money?
You're the guys that are going to be earning the money that's going to be paying my Social Security and my retirement benefits.
I don't think it's for the power or the money. In fact, I believe it's purely for the food.
Come along. Can I buy you lunch?
Yeah, sure.
I'm big for students. Whenever I get a wrap, they're way too much for me. And I always say, put less food on there. I don't need as much food as young people do. So go get a wrap. You're young and you're skinny. You can use a lot of food.
Do you think they sometimes put a little extra food just?
I tell them not to. But I'm gonna get a big. You will get a wrap.
All right. I'll get a wrap.
Get one with lots of protein in it, since somebody else is paying for it.
I was still curious why he wanted me to eat so much.
I like these bagels. They tend to be good and healthy. You know, that's one of the problems with Americans. We eat too much.
Maybe.
Go to restaurants and they do these huge portions. In my trouble, I don't know about you, but I grew up in a family where if you didn't eat what was put on your plate, you were in trouble. So I tend to eat everything that's put in front of me.
Will it be disappointing if I can't finish it all?
I'm counting on you to finish it all.
All right.
Although Rollin would never know if I finished my meal or not, he does get worried over other issues.
And one of the things that worries me a lot about young people today is you have access to a lot of drugs. Some of them, like methamphetamine, are terrible drugs. They can be really destructive. Something like marijuana, pot is probably less destructive. I also hope that students think about smoking pot responsibly as well.
How would one smoke pot responsibly?
Number one, I think you have to just be careful, keep it in moderation.
Now, I like the oatmeal raisin. What kind do you like?
I'm a chocolate chip fan myself.
Is that chocolate chip?
Yeah.
And Rollin keeps his cookie consumption in good moderation. Except he is seen here with another cookie.
How do you relax? How do you relieve your stress?
I watch The Daily Show and the Colbert Report, which make me laugh at the same time I'm crying inside about what's happening.
Have you ever thought about being a guest member on their show?
I would be delighted. It would be great for Humboldt State University. It's occurred to me more than once but I haven't done it, to write to Stephen Colbert and saying, would you come here and be our commencement speaker? I suspect he gets now thousands, if not more than that, or similar requests. But maybe I should do it anyway. Maybe it'll inspire me. Sure, I'd love to be on his show.
Anything else you want for lunch?
No, I'm okay. How does your meal plan work?
How does my meal plan work?
Yes.
I go upstairs and I give them money and they put it on this little card. And I tell this lady here, would you please give me bonus points? And I have no idea what that means, but they told me to say that. I think it.
You have a nice day.
It lowers the price or something.
And so we learn the secret to President Richmond's love for the depot. Bonus points.
I'm going to abandon you now.
That is okay, sir.
And there goes the man who made it cool to eat again.
For a Humboldt Report, I'm Tristan Pulido.
The internet has sped up everything: communication, news, gossip. With the World Wide Web at our fingertips, we're all well informed. Or are we? The Humboldt Report's Ryan Musser finds out.
Thanks, Kyle. With a lot of news shows being so serious nowadays, I just wanted to keep it really serious. Kidding. I just wanted to ask some absurd questions, see if I could get some absurd answers. Let's see what happened. Here's your globe. Can you show me where Cuba is?
Cuba is right there.
Nice. Can you show me where the Ivory Coast is?
The Ivory Coast is...
Elliot Spitzer. Sounds familiar, like I should know this.
Mayor who got busted for that prostitution in New York.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that rings a bell.
A lot of people are calling him a martyr and saying that, he lost his job for his cause. How do you feel about that?
You know what? I don't feel that title belongs to him at all.
If his main goal was to do prostitution, he did lead well, though, and he did accomplish what he set out to accomplish, no?
I guess so.
Let's see. Sierra Leone.
Normal Club?
Yes. National Organization for Reform Marijuana Laws.
What's the most normal thing you guys do?
You mean normal with an A or the...
Who are you going to vote for?
Barack Obama.
Heard his baseball steroid policy really wasn't up to par with Hillary's. I mean, how do you feel?
His steroids story?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Why? That's like one of the most important issues right now.
It's over my head. I don't know.
I heard his baseball steroid policy wasn't strong enough to really, keep our nation together. How do you feel about that?
Well, I haven't really heard about that, or I've mainly heard about mainly focus on whatever hot issues are like abortions and gay marriage and the war. I haven't really researched anything about baseball.
You think gays should be allowed to marry?
Yeah.
Cool. Would you vote for Barbara Bush in the 2012 election? A farmer has 15 sheep. All but 8 die. How many are left?
7.
7?
I feel like I'm so close. Is that pretty close?
Yeah.
Where did you point to?
To the Ivory Coast. Who are you going to vote for?
In the presidential election?
Yeah.
On campus or otherwise?
No, otherwise.
Barack Obama.
Why?
Because I feel he's the right candidate.
Why do you think so many white people are voting for him?
I don't believe that it's a race issue. I don't think that it's about him being black or us being white. I think that it's about what candidate is right for doing the job.
Enough said. For the Humboldt Report, I'm Ryan Musser.
What would you do if someone fell right in front of you? Would you lend a hand, or would you just sit back and watch? The Humboldt Report went undercover to find out what some people would do.
Oh. Thank you. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Thank you. Thanks.
Oh, man. Oh, thank you. Oh, thanks. Oh, God, I'm so clumsy. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Jeez, thanks. Oh, my gosh. So many times. I know.
Coming up on the Humboldt Report, what should you do in case of a tsunami? And later, some delicious and curious things you might find in downtown Arcata. you do in case of a tsunami? I would climb up in this tree. I'm not sure how I would get down though. Here's the Humboldt Report's Noemi Hernandez with some tsunami do's and don'ts.
What will you do in case of a tsunami?
Well, I'd try and run away from it, because that's what people do, right? Since I live down in the bottoms over there, I would probably jump inside the car and try to go up Fickle Hill Road as soon as possible.
Personally, I would scream and then I would run to high ground.
I'd probably head up to Founders Hall, get some height between me and the oncoming wave.
If I can't get away, probably gonna get a surfboard and just ride it out. just go out like a G riding it.
People tend to think, I'm gonna go down to the cliff and check it out. It's really a bad idea.
Recently, I started noticing they've been putting, you're in a tsunami danger zone, like on the 101 and going in southern Humboldt.
You have to be about, at most, 100 feet away from 100 feet elevation to be completely safe from any kind of tsunami. And so, for example, the middle of Eureka is totally safe. You don't need to go any farther than that. And lastly, don't call 911. The only reason to call 911 is if you need emergency help immediately. But calling 911 for additional information, in June of 2004, when we had a tsunami warning, it completely locked up all the phone lines in Humboldt and Delaware County. So people should really not call 911.
Reporting for the Humboldt Report, Noemi Hernandez.
William McKinley, the 25th President of the United States, was assassinated in 1901. Shortly thereafter, a statue of him was placed in the Arcata Plaza. Why Arcata, you ask? Well, HSU's Clarence Taylor is about to tell you why in this contributing report.
William McKinley was a Republican from Ohio and one of the last veterans of the Civil War to be elected president. So why is his statue in the center of Arcata?
Mr. McKinley? I don't know anything about Mr. McKinley.
I know he was a president and
Republican?
A Republican, and he founded it around here, right?
Who's that? Mr. McKinley? McKinleyville. McKinley? I don't really know. I don't really know anything about it. I'm not from this town. I'd like to know if somebody could, inform me, but I'm not really sure. I don't know,
At the age of 58 years old, McKinley was shot while at the Pan American Expo in Buffalo, New York. He died a few days later at his home.
He was born in Ohio.
This kid I knew, they climbed up there with a hacksaw and hacksawed his thumb off, dude, and then all of Arcata went nuts about it and offering all these rewards to get the thumb back.
I had to find the true story about the McKinley statue. Arcata Eye's newspaper editor Kevin Hoover knows a lot about it.
The plaza's crowning glory came in 1905 when resident George Zehnder spent $15,000 to commission a statue of President William McKinley by Armenian sculptor Haig Patigian. The next month, the statue was brought to Eureka by steamboat and then installed on the Arcata Plaza. Zehnder presented the statue as a gift to the city of Arcata for all time to come.
Zehnder met McKinley and was so impressed by the president, he wanted a statue in Arcata. And that's the simple reason why McKinley's statue is in the plaza. Reporting from Humboldt State University, I'm Clarence Taylor.
The Arcata Plaza is home to more than just the McKinley statue. It's also the home of the farmer's market. The Humboldt Report's Jake Gaeta tells us more.
Farmers Market on the Arcata Plaza is back, and it's celebrating its 30th anniversary.
I'll tell you, a beautiful day like this is what makes this market. It actually has to have a beautiful day like this to really have the full potential recognized with the farmers market. So it should be a great one today. That's my prediction. Hold me to it, okay?
And what a beautiful day it turned out to be.
Oh, it's on a day like this, what's not to like?
Vegetables, flowers, cactus, food, music, and people.
Well, this one certainly brings people together, and they party on Saturdays, have a good time.
I know that we started in 1978 with just a few farmers, and they sold off the back of their trucks in Eureka.
The farmers market was started by the North Coast Growers Association, which was one of the first forest-certified farmers markets in California, and is now the largest continuously running certified market in the state.
Started in the late 70s. There was just a few people, and even when I came here in the late 80s, it was only three. This is the beginning of the third side of the plaza, and then in the 90s, the fourth side filled out, and they brought music in, I'd say, mid-90s, and that really changed things, made it much more festive and much more of a kind of a community event, not just farmers market.
The only one I've been to that's a little bit competitive is the Davis. Davis has a great farmers market, but Arcata has such an abundance of energy and organic food products and just community.
Right now, I'm spinning into yarn Angora wool, and I raise the bunnies, and I comb the bunnies to get the wool.
We've been coming since the early 90s then.
It's our third or fourth year.
18 years, I think.
This will be my 6th year with my own stand, and about 9 otherwise, working for other farmers.
This farmers market since '99.
From the plaza in Arcata, this is Gaeta reporting for Humboldt State University.
Speaking of local edibles, Humboldt County is the place to go for shrooms. With the spring comes the season of some of the most prized mushrooms around. The Humboldt Report's Nicole Willens has the story.
It's getting warmer. Spring is here. 'Tis the season for morel, black trumpet, and shiitake mushrooms. These fleshy fungi are packed with both flavor and nutrients. The black trumpets have a taste that remind me of steak, while the morel and shiitakes have a flavor likened to nothing else. So where can one get these scrumptious morsels? There's an easy way and a hard way. The easy way is a lot more convenient. Just call Mycality, the only mushroom farm in Humboldt County. You can find Mycality Saturdays at the Arcata Farmers Market. The hard way to get these mushrooms is going around and looking for them yourself. The best places to look are old-growth forests and generally places that are dark and damp. Mycologist TJ Walker has tips.
You definitely have to know your trees.
Mushrooms tend to grow with their environment. For example, the morels resemble pine cones. Keep in mind that eating mushrooms can be dangerous. It's best to have a good field guide and an experienced mycologist with you. Don't know any mycologists? You can always find one at the Humboldt Bay Mycology Club. They're always excited to see new members. Happy hunting! This is Nicole Willens for the Humboldt Report.
Coming up, goals and dates. We'll tell you how to score both. Plus, a teacher who scores high points with his students. All that and more when the Humboldt Report returns. Welcome back. Each year, Humboldt State University names one of its faculty members as Outstanding Professor. This year, the award goes to Professor Carolyn Ward of Natural Resources. For a dozen years, Dr. Ward has been teaching HSU students how to interpret natural and cultural sciences. I think that means she takes students into the woods and shows them how to identify stuff. Well, congratulations, Professor Ward. Almost every student has a favorite professor. So which professor is the most popular at Humboldt State? The Humboldt Report's John Majors finds out.
Who is your favorite teacher at Humboldt State University and why? What makes them a good teacher to you?
I like Dr. Wood. He teaches organic chemistry because he's really clear. He's been doing it for a long time and he's never made anyone feel stupid in class, even though some people have dumb questions.
I'd say Frank Shaughnessy is my favorite teacher at Humboldt State because he likes his students, gives time to his students, and is a really honest guy.
Leslie Price, because He helped me open my mind in art and in how to interpret beauty.
Probably have to say Bill Herbersmeyer. He's straightforward, tells it like it is.
My favorite teacher at Humboldt State would be Daniel Falk, and he's a political science teacher. He's great because, well, he's an activist, and every time he speaks in his class, like, it's interesting. Like, his lectures are interesting.
I got a couple, but I'm gonna go with Dan Falk because he's not afraid to tell it like it is.
My very favorite is Joy Adams, and she's in the geography department, and she's just really, you can tell she really loves what she does, and she's a younger professor, so you can kind of relate to her more.
Brian Arbogast, he's the professor of mammalogy.
That would be Claire Knox. I really appreciated the way that she challenged us and engaged us in group work and engaging us in a higher level of thinking.
My favorite professor is probably Arnie Jacobson. Despite the fact that he works 3 jobs, he's really accessible to students, and he's helped out with a lot of engineering projects that I've done.
My favorite professor is a sociology professor by the name of Mary Furnoche. She's actually, I think she's the chair of the sociology department. She's really a great teacher because she really listens to students and she really tries to help you out with their problems.
Speaking of favorite professors, this next story is about a journalism professor who endears himself to students with a mixture of good looks and corny jokes.
Mac was in a grocery store and they asked me if he wanted paper or plastic.
The bagger asked him paper or plastic, and he said,
So don't worry about.
wait, am I getting it right? No, I think I'm messing it up.
He said, I don't know, you decide.
I said, you decide. She said, oh no, sir, that wouldn't be right. Baggers can't be choosers.
Okay, baggers can't be choosers. Yeah, okay, now I remember.
Journalism professor Mac McClary says he's been teaching at Humboldt State University for 40 years. He's been telling that same bagger joke the entire time.
Oh, that's great. That's even better the second time, I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe the third time. You've taken 4 of my classes, be the 4th time. 5th time.
He is better known as Mac, Mac Daddy, or
Stud muffin.
He's a stud muffin.
Linda McMaster is the journalism department administrator and one of Mac's big fans.
You know, Mac is such a stud muffin. All these comments on the evals, and I thought it was really cute, and I asked him about it, and he just was embarrassed. Mac would say, well, Linda's been having some problems typing up the evals. Students are misspelling some important words, and well, I'll turn it over to Linda. And then, so I'm writing on the chalkboard how the correct spelling of stud muffin.
Capital S-T-U-D space M-U-F-F-I-N, stud muffin.
Mac teaches mass comm history, public relations, and other courses. He has no plans to stop teaching anytime soon.
I don't want to give up show business. I like being up there in front of that class. I like to hear the laughter and the cheers. I'm a big ham, and I can't give that up.
He definitely has something to teach. He's got a lot of experience. He's got a lot to say. He's very connected and very devoted to the students.
Coming from his class, you definitely get a grasp of what's right and wrong, and that'll help you in any field.
Running, he is slowing down. I have noticed that he's slowing down a little bit on the track, but as an instructor, he's all there.
I try to run every day, at least a couple of miles and perhaps as many as 5.
On the day I interviewed him, he ran over 2 miles and showed almost no signs of fatigue. Not bad for such a young guy.
My age for the record is 71, which is my age off the record as well.
He's kind of like the icon. He's Mac. Like, if you had journalism in the last 40 years here at Humboldt State, you've probably had Mac.
I remember once he went to go get his messages from Linda, and she had a fax for him, and he went to go pick up the fax, and she asked him if he wanted the messages, and he goes, no, just the fax, man.
I'm gonna miss him so much when he stops teaching. I just don't want him to go. That's it. There won't be another stud muffin ever.
Hate to think of life without running. Be like life without teaching. Okay, good to see you.
I was in Mac's class last semester, and he wanted us to let him know if he ever loses his touch. Trust me, Mac, you've still got it. Whew. That was a good goal, right? Well, if you like goals, then you're going to get a kick out of HSU soccer. The Humboldt Report's Channing Washington has the story.
Intramural soccer at HSU is a chance for students to test their skills, meet new people, and have fun.
Intramural soccer is a time for just students and community members to come out, have some fun, get kind of competitive, and just have a good time.
For more information, check out the intramural office located in the Forbes complex across from the pool.
Whoa, soccer's wacky fun. Check it out.
For the Humboldt Report, I'm Channing Washington.
Have you ever tried to pick up someone for a date? The Humboldt Report's Adrian Barcenas teaches us how in Pickup 101.
What's your best pickup line? Well, I frankly don't even use pickup lines. They're corny, they're cheesy, and they're cheap.
Check this out, little baby. You must be a parking ticket because you got fine written all over you.
My best pickup line is, baby, are you from Jamaica? Because you're Jamaican me crazy.
My best pickup line? I don't got no pickup line. It's all natural game. You feel me? I just holler at him.
Does that always work?
Nah, it don't always work. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I don't never really get turned down.
What's your best pickup line?
You like really old guys or young guys?
Actually, she called me, so I don't do much picking up at women.
Approach me like a person, not no, hey girl, you know, come here, all that. That's doing too much.
My best pickup line is, what's your favorite color?
Be yourself, I'd say.
I like the cheesy pickup lines because it makes me laugh.
Did it hurt? Because you just fell from heaven.
I don't do pickup lines. I'm married.
I would just say genuinely being nice and just talking to me.
And what's the best way to approach the opposite sex?
Oh, probably whistle at them, yeah. Well, that's never worked for me, but I see people still trying it.
Okay, let me see. Turn around. Okay. Yeah, he's made in heaven. All right.
Baby, you from Tennessee because you was only 10 I see.
Only 10 I see.
Those are some great lines we just heard. Hope they work better for you than they do for me, because as you can see, I ain't getting none. For the Humboldt Report, I'm Adrian Barcenas.
Well, that's all for the Humboldt Report. Until next time, I'm Kyle Kaufman.
Oh!